different, right?
Okay, we can call the meeting back to order, and there were no decisions made in executive session. Okay, old business, hangar leases.
I just put it on there so it didn't get dropped. I think you wanted to talk to Nicole about it. She was here when Rick was here.
At this point, should we just wait on that then?
Yeah.
Okay. I will say I've looked at some of the old leases. This seems to me one of those issues to me where some stuff was missing and maybe some things had been discussed but actually never really accomplished. I know there was one person in particular who was upset, and I went back. I had never been asked to prepare a lease for that person, and there was no approval in the minutes. And there are a couple older leases that I think need to be cleaned up a little bit.
Okay, yeah, that can be a working project, because there's no time limit or anything else on that. They just...
And I think a lot of it is just an organizational issue working with Scott.
The issue come up is there's a couple of hangars up there that there were never any leases, no legal documents whatsoever. I mean, they put their hangars on county property without any sort of a lease or an agreement, and now all of a sudden we need them. So.
And they're all are old leases, you know, with that need to be cleaned up, it looks like to me a little bit, but there's language there. And it appears from what Scott and I have been looking at that it's just been one of those things where people came in to talk to the commissioners off and on. The commissioners are like, yeah, we're good, but no actual authorization to enter into a lease with them.
All right.
Okay, antivirus.
I have this other email. It's I just got that this morning. It's an interesting little deal. There's some grant funds available through XTech also, so I'll let you look through that. And you can have that if you want it. I'll let you look through those. Those are the two quotes we're comparing. I think XTech's server quote it's definitely higher. Matt didn't quote servers separately. XTech does have a network operations center that monitors everything 24/7. Kind of split. It'd be nice to have somebody local, but I think what you're getting for dollars, I think XTech's probably offering a little more. Kind of I don't know what to do there.
Well, there's not going to be much out there.
I think.
Yes. I have nothing to say. I just can't hear any of you. Don't make an attempt to speak a little louder.
Sure.
We'll try.
So it's $315 versus $390. Basically $315 versus $400
Per month.
Yeah. And that'd cover 45 computers and 2 servers. So that should about, just me figuring roughly, it should about cover everybody.
Okay.
And we may be a little long or a little short, but.
Here and up there also.
Yep. And Dave's computer at the county shop.
What are we paying now?
Sophos is, and we only have it on 13 machines. It's $267 currently per machine.
We only have 13 machines on it. What's the rest of them on? Do you know?
It's kind of like Reed's got his on ESET, and they're at.
So we're not
unified.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to get everybody on the same thing, monitored by the same people, and remote access. That's kind of what we're trying to do, is unified, I guess.
So we're really only talking about a $175 a month increase or somewhere in there, $200 a month.
Yeah. And I've got that in the
program. Oh, that's true.
Right. Yeah, because like right now, Reed's paying for his own out of his budget. So and the sheriff's office is paying for their own out of their budget. Yeah, there's some hit and miss stuff like that, so.
I think I'd rather have all of our computer system under one contract.
Well, we want to make sure we keep having them come out of their budgets.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, with the tax lid, those are the only places we can raise taxes if we have to.
Mm-hmm.
Is the emergency, like the sheriff's department, the ambulance.
Okay.
So you want to keep that kind of stuff in their budget.
Okay.
And I know it makes it difficult probably, but that's one
Makes
thing
sense.
they told us when we were down there at that meeting, that
It should be less, or about the same or less.
Yeah.
It'd be,
Well, especially if you include all the rest of them.
it may be just a little more, you know, like Reed's, they're gonna, if he's paying $4 a machine, it's gonna go to $7, so. I mean, but he's gaining,
$1,000
yeah,
a year.
and you're gaining a lot, I mean, really.
But yeah, he just won't take it out of his own budget. Well, they told us at that meeting we went to, whatever you can get in, stay in their budget, keep it in their budget. Don't
Yeah.
be pulling it over into the general fund.
Okay.
Now, if we go with like XTech and we don't get the grant,
Yeah, I don't
is
know
this
what.
grant through XTech?
Yeah, and like I say, I just got that. I haven't talked to anybody about what that'll even do. I was just showing that to you.
I mean,
But
personally,
it's a
I like
separate
working
issue.
with somebody local.
what's our local option?
Reach Solutions, Matt
Reed
Wilson.
Solutions.
Yeah.
Matt Wilson.
Yeah, I agree with
And he's a little cheaper,
A little less,
but not the same service.
right, a little less service.
But is it enough service?
XTech used to have the same company that Matt's selling, and they've told me some reasons why they don't have it anymore. Leads me to believe that maybe some of their services aren't quite up to par right now. They just changed hands, got bought out by another company, which happens a lot, but I don't know. I agree. I really, Matt's done wonders for me, great to work with, but
What about if they have to come out here, XTech gonna charge us mileage if they have to come out?
if they came out to work on a machine, I'm sure they would, but there's no reason why Matt couldn't come work on a machine too.
I'm gonna take advantage of Heidi just for a second, because I know Reed Solutions is the provider for the hospital.
Right, yeah, it's been that way for a couple of years.
And as far as I know, they run along pretty smooth.
Yes, it works really well.
Yeah, I know Reed's had a couple issues that he's had some issues with.
Well-
But, you know, that's the way life is. Nobody's perfect.
No, yeah, but there's always a solution to every
Mm-hmm.
problem. You know, you just gotta take the time to look it over.
And it is an annual contract. I mean, if we don't like what we're doing in a year, we can always change.
There you go.
Are we ready to make a motion? Because
I'm ready. You make it.
move that we accept the contract with Reach Solutions in the amount of $315 a month.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Okay.
Did
And
you
like you
sign
said-
that one?
Yes.
I'll get you a copy. And that's a annual contract billed monthly, if you want that in the minutes somewhere. Yeah, like I said, either way, I think we're making a good move there. And I'll do a little research on what that grant's capabilities are.
Okay.
May or may not be something you want to look at. So. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric. Okay. Correspondence and information. Appointment to the NLEPG board. What exactly is that?
That is the EP, environmental protection in a quarry.
Is that the one Kenny Canor?
They said he's been on it since the start and he's not able to make meetings anymore and somebody.
No, they just specifically need somebody from Cheyenne County to represent our interests. And do we know of anybody that's interested in filling that position?
Rodney to do it.
Rodney would do it?
What's that?
You better pay attention or we'll get you involved here.
Well, I'm like Marlon, only worse. I have a hard time hearing.
So is this something we need to advertise for, or?
If
For
we don't
a
have
board?
any interest,
I think,
You might contact the Conservation District and see if they would have any suggestions. Because LAPG works with the Conservation District on many projects and stuff like that, so you might, and that's where Kenny got on board. So they might contact the Conservation District to see if they would have.
And who
a
should we talk
suggestion.
to up there?
Danny, Holsworth.
Danny Holsworth. Okay.
and you could also just place an ad in the paper asking for
Yeah, that's-
applications.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
I think that's probably,
You
I
could talk
think in
to
the
your
past.
son, he's in that office.
Yeah.
I wonder if somebody like Roger Orth, he seems to,
I don't think Roger will take it because, at this point, but I can't speak for him, but,
Well, let's do this.
I would contact the Conservation District board.
Let's contact Danny and see if she's got anybody in mind. If not, we'll place an ad in the paper and see what kind of interest we have. Sound reasonable? Okay, clerk, PCP test in front door.
The city clerk contacted me a couple of weeks ago. We are having our EMS and fire do the physical capacity tests.
Oh, the ones down Colby.
Yes. And with the St. Francis Fire Department, she's wondering if we could share the results and split the cost of the tests.
Are we paying for all of them now?
All of them.
So the city's kind of offered to step up
Yeah.
and help pay for some of
Oh,
it?
that'd be great.
Yeah,
Just wanted to run it by you.
I think that's a good idea. If they're willing to do that, I'm more than happy to let them.
On the west door where you're putting in the new, I asked Eric how much more it would be to do the front door, and it's only $95 more a month, and I just wanted to, that would give us the cards to
For the front door too.
get rid of the keys. And then you lock down if we needed to, or something ever happens, just wanted to bring it up. It's not gonna be that much more since you're already doing the one building.
And that is just a lock system, or is that included a camera?
Yeah, just the
It's just a lock system.
$1,100 a year.
1140.
Every year.
Well, I still agree with this west door. I don't know if I'm that interested in doing the front door. I don't know what we gain.
This seems like an expensive monthly service.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it is.
I just wanted to bring it up before we do the ones.
Just 10 years, you got $11,000 in locking a door.
I'm happy with leaving it the way we have it right now.
Until somebody can show me it's a real safety issue, I'm a little concerned. I'd rather not do it. So,
Kind of. But we did need to do something with that west door.
Yeah, like there's a
Security.
process for that.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
there's The three. Those three require advertising.
To fill these positions. That's what you're talking about.
There's
Okay.
statutes on them.
Okay. And he handed me a piece of paper that Hospital Board, Airport Authority, and Fair Association. So we wouldn't really have to advertise legally, but I think it'd be a good way to go if we don't have any interest.
You know, my approach on all of this has always been to do the most required so that we never mess up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if you always do the most required, then you're guaranteed to never mess up. And we've messed that stuff up in the past because we get informal on some things, and then the things that really matter, they kind of slip through the cracks. So I mean, just like a lot of our employee policy manual stuff and our credit card policy, it's the most restrictive requirements, because that way, if we approach everything in the most formal way we can, we're never going to get into trouble.
I like that approach.
You know me, Rodney.
And what is the NKRRO board?
That is the recycling board. Roger Jensen said that they need to
One in Bird City.
accommodate Willie, and he's talked to Willie.
Okay,
I
that's, I
thought we already did that.
don't remember, but maybe we did. Do we need to make a motion to go ahead and appoint him now? And he's willing and agreeable?
I thought we done that last year.
I don't know what you did last year, I wasn't here.
You remember Rodney?
Couldn't hear you.
Didn't we already appoint Willie Martinez to this recycling board?
I still can't hear you.
Willie
Come up
Martinez
here.
over in Bird City. You know, they got the new recycling building over there. Willie Martinez is willing to take that over. Ed thinks that you guys already made that appointment last year.
To be on
I
that
think
board.
we did. Yeah.
Roger did.
I'd have to look through the minutes on that, but. That
I
building
know we
over there,
discussed.
that building over there, I believe is leased by the county.
I don't know if that was ever I mean, I remember you guys discussing that, but I don't know if you ever actually formally made that appointment. I mean,
Let's do it now, cover our bases.
There you go. It's kind of like buying a fire truck, isn't it?
yep.
You can table that, get more information and take care of it in 2 weeks.
Well, we're appointing the same person. it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
we're appointing somebody that's willing to do it, so while we've got him on the hook, let's reel him in.
I move we appoint Willie Martinez to the NKRRO.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good morning, Heidi.
How are you guys?
Good.
Good. Kelly is out. I don't know if he let you guys know, but he's at a meeting in Topeka. So I'm just here to report for May. Our inpatient volume was high. We had 3,000 outpatients, 26 admissions between swing bed and acute, which is really strong for May. 63 ERs, and the rural health clinic was at 635 visits, which is up 10 visits from April. We had 12 surgeries. The average length of stay is 2.56, which is a little lower. We wanted around 3, but it's still holding strong. The acute average daily census for the year is at 1.94, and the swing bed daily census is at 3.18. So that's patients per
Sounds like a
day
good month
average.
then.
So we're still going strong for this year,
Good.
for May.
Good.
We went through our Cerner conversion for the electronic medical records last week. We're still working through that. It seems to be, it's just a process of, some changes in the new computer system, but it seems to be going really well.
Okay.
That's really all I have, unless you guys have questions.
I do have one you may not know the answer to, but the new unit that was placed on top of the OR, is that thing operational yet?
Yes.
Is it working correctly?
As far as I know, yes. But I know they've had them back out, and they had Sam Miller down there doing some work too. So I don't know if there's electrical problems with it, but I mean, we've paid for it, and as far as I've heard from Reed, it's working fine.
All right. Well, the same people want to come into the courthouse and make us some offers and do some
Okay.
pricing, and I'm a little gun shy over that particular.
Yeah. Yeah, it took some time to get it in and get it right, because we held the bill for a while until we paid it,
Okay.
until they made it right.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, that's why I just want to make sure that that project was done.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
I can think of.
No?
Pretty
Okay.
easy.
Pretty
Yeah.
easy. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Natalie,
Good morning.
good morning.
I do have the bids from all of the contractors, but before we get to that, I wondered if we could have 10 minutes of executive session to talk about court security.
I move we go into executive session for 10 minutes
To discuss security.
to discuss security.
All those in favor?